So today is October the 25th. Let's get it. Last night was a season opener in the NBA, and it definitely did not fail us. Two really good matchups. And what we want to do is go straight into the results. Last night we had 2 picks. We did a player prop, and we also did a matchup between 2 teams. We picked one team out of that matchup, and also we did a player matchup, so we'll give you the results on that. Now, let's start with the player prop. Austin Reeves, we had him to get more than 3 rebounds, and to me that was an easy one. If you watch the game, you'd see he's diving all over the place, diving over the cameraman, diving through the Denver Nuggets bench, doing everything, getting his hands on the ball as much as he can. And you know that's what Austin Reeves is going to do, especially in a game like that one and also in the season opener. So that was an easy one. He finished off with actually 8 rebounds, doubled it up just to make sure. Now, we'll move on to the matchup that was between the Phoenix Suns visiting the Golden State Warriors. It was kind of risky. The spread was +3 for the Phoenix Suns, and we weren't sure if Devin Booker and Bradley Beal would be in the game. They were listed as questionable. I felt like both of them would have been in the game, and it ended up that it was actually Bradley Beal that was out and Devin Booker was in. So I was still confident about that because that's still the team from last year, and I feel like they should be better this year than they were last year, being Devin Booker and Kevin Durant along with the rest of the Phoenix Suns team. I do feel like they're better this year for sure. Also, I'm not too confident in the Golden State Warriors, like I said in the last night. The duo with Curry and Chris Paul, 2 small guards. I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Also, Draymond Green was out, and Kevin Looney's about 6'9". They're a very small team, the Golden State Warriors. Their tallest player is about 6'9", so we'll see how that goes. It was a close game. The Suns only ended up getting the game by 4 points, so we only got it by 1 point. But we'll watch closely to see how the Golden State Warriors do moving on. Now, on to the player matchup we had. It was Nikola Jokic versus LeBron James, and that is going to be an easy one. We got to give it to Nikola Jokic. Gave you a triple-double in the season opener, and he looks very comfortable out there. I was saying that it would have been, I think what could have maybe helped the Lakers and LeBron in this matchup is if there were 2 big men on the floor, especially at the beginning of the game, or just to for sure slow down Nikola Jokic a little bit. I think they should have put more size on the floor. Whether it would be Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes, put one of those guys beside Anthony Davis, just to try and make the game a little bit more complicated for Nikola Jokic, because he just looks too comfortable out there. And the Denver Nuggets look good, so I'm just gonna keep it real on that. But let's just look at the matchup. Like I said, Nikola Jokic got a triple-double. He ended up with 29 points, 13 rebounds, 11 assists, a steal and a block. Finished with a +15 rating. Pretty good. 12 for 22 from the field, 3 for 5 from 3-point, 2 out of 4 of his free throws. Like I said, Nikola Jokic looks a little bit too comfortable out there. I'm waiting to see which team has the resources to be able to slow him down just a little bit. Maybe that would help. Now, LeBron James, not too shabby, but you got to remember LeBron James is getting up there in age. He did finish off with 21 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and a steal. Also a +7 rating. 10 for 16 from the field, 1 for 4 from 3-point, and went to the line once, missed that free throw. Missed 1 free throw, so 0 for 1 from the free throw. I would have liked to see LeBron get to the line a little bit more, but hey, like I said, he's getting up there in age, and it's going to be interesting to see how his game changes. But even the 5 assists, maybe it would have been nice to see a little bit more, maybe 7 or 8. But we'll see how that goes moving forward. Definitely, though, Nikola Jokic took that matchup, and that's probably not a surprise. I just felt like that was the big matchup to look out for. And definitely Nikola Jokic is still reigning supreme as the MVP. He's playing like an MVP type player, and the scary thing is he might have gotten a little bit better. So that's what we see from last night, and that's it. We'll get into today's games and what we got for today. So moving on to today, again, October the 25th, the second night of the NBA season. We got a big one here, 12 games, but we're just going to stick to what we got going on. We're going to look at a player prop or something that we like, and a matchup. We're going to pick a team out of that matchup, and we're going to do a player matchup. Also, let's not forget, this is going to be the Raptors season opener at home, so we want to talk a little bit about that as well. So let's first go into the player prop. I am going with Bennedict Mathurin, the Canadian, to score over 14 points. Now, who are they playing? They are playing the Washington Wizards. And, Mathurin is pretty much the scorer on that team. He's the one who's going to be getting the points. And I expect him to score like maybe 20 points tonight. I think 14.5 is an easy one. We'll see how that goes. So moving on to the matchup we got for tonight, I want to look at the Atlanta Hawks versus the Charlotte Hornets. Two teams I like, and I really want to see, where they're at. So far, I feel like the Atlanta Hawks, I'm not bought in with the duo they got in DeJounte Murray and Trae Young. I think those guys working together are still trying to figure it out. So I'll be looking to see how that goes. And I think the Charlotte Hornets, I kind of like Charlotte Hornets, especially right now. Maybe later in the season, the Atlanta Hawks, I feel like the Atlanta Hawks are a better team once they get it together. But I feel like the Charlotte Hornets tonight, especially being at home, the home crowd and the season opener, a lot of things going on. So I feel like I do like the Charlotte Hornets. It's a plus 3.5. So I like them for those odds. Also, we want to see if Brandon Miller is starting tonight. I'm pretty sure he's not. I actually have a little bet with a friend of mine whether Brandon Miller will start or not. He is, he's not feeling the fact that Brandon Miller may come off the bench, being that he's the second pick, and Gordon Hayward, he'd be coming off the bench behind Gordon Hayward. But that's another thing I'd watch for is Gordon Hayward, how he does. We all know he's injury prone, and whether he'll have a healthy season or not, that's going to be the big question. But again, I'm going with the Charlotte Hornets, plus 3.5, playing at home. We'll see how that goes. Should be a good game. Last but not least is going to be the player matchup, and I can't help but do it. I want to look at Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. They're not playing each other. Victor Wembanyama is going to be playing the Dallas Mavericks at home in San Antonio, and Chet Holmgren will be visiting the Chicago Bulls. So they're not playing against each other, but I do want to see how they do in the season opener. I feel like Wembanyama, I was a little questionable about certain things, like how his game would transition into the NBA. I'm not questioning that anymore. As a matter of fact, I think there's a lot more to see with Victor Wembanyama, and I think Victor is really is motivation for Chet. I think he is a reason why Chet is working a little bit harder, because he wants to be up there in the discussion as big men, as one of the top big men with Victor Wembanyama, as the top young big man. And I think Chet is, I think he's up there. I think he will be considered one of the top young prospects in the league right now by the middle of the season. I think people will see it. So so that's what I got for my picks, and let's go into the Raptors tonight. The Raptors, that's going to be huge. One of the things that I've seen that I feel comfortable about with the Raptors is that Scotty Barnes is looking more and more comfortable at that 3-point line, and I think they got him starting at the shooting guard. So it would be Dennis Schroeder, Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, or maybe OG Anunoby at the 2 and Scotty Barnes at the 3, then Siakam and Jakob Poeltl. I do like that lineup, and to tell you the truth, I like the Raptors in this game, especially with the defense and all. I think they're going to give Minnesota a lot of problems. Another thing with Minnesota is Towns. I don't know how he makes them a better team. I know he's a really good player. I just don't know how he makes them a better team. And just like what I said about the Atlanta Hawks with DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, that's the same thing I feel with Towns and his whole fit in this team. I think the Raptors will really disrupt Minnesota. And Minnesota's another team I had high up, but just some things I was questionable about watching the preseason. Who knows? Maybe, in the season opener, things will look a little bit different. But I do like the Raptors, especially being at home. It's my hometown team. So if I was to put some money on it, I'd go with the Raptors. I don't know what the spread is for that game, but I definitely. I think it's about 1 point or so. So I like that. And a lot of people are looking at the Raptors like we're not gonna do well this season. Like I said, even with my critiques, even with my harshest critiques on the Raptors, I still see them as like a 6-7 team. So, I still like the Raptors, how they look, and I like them in this game. So, we'll see how it goes. Again, today is October the 25th, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, cool.